Hi everyone, and welcome to yet another transformation video. I hope you guys aren't tired of these yet, but people constantly request them, so when I have the chance, I've been trying to film them because there are times when we might go a few months without finding anything like at all, or just that's not really worth a whole video on. So we hope you enjoy. These dolls are from the Princess and the Pauper bin, and if you want to know more about like how much they cost, etc., and like the story of how we found them, you could check that out. And without further ado, I'm going to show you the dolls. So this is the identification process. We have a few real Barbie books and my makeshift Bratz guide, Monster High guide. Most of these Barbies are way too new to be in our collector's books because they're from the 2000s, but the photo album here does picture them. I think she's the Forever Diamonds and Bratz Babies, yes. Because these pants would be a match, and I think we got... So I'll even double check dolls that I already have that are duplicates just to be sure. It also helps me see the clothing. I might catch a piece of clothing that I didn't know went to a doll while I'm flipping through the guide. And you can see I have this old notebook that I'm writing the dolls down in, and also their body make info and stuff.
So this is definitely, I'm 100% sure this is definitely Beach Fun Barbie. Now he's calling it 06, but I don't know what you call it.
05.
And here Calling is dictating to me the doll's body mold info, the country make. This is all stuff we put on my Flickr guide, so when people are looking to identify a doll, those are clues to help people out, and it's just good for us to keep track of things.
I'm going to put the ones we've identified, so this is a good hack if you're dealing with a lot. Like we have this container, which I'm going to save. I'm going to clean it because this is great for things. So anyone that's written down and identified is like going...
I'm going to double check her against her
Is that
face.
her beach bottoms or no?
Those are.
That's cool. They don't look like they match, but...
I know, but those are. I didn't see them here.
Cool.
Calling has left the room to double check some dolls on the computer with better pictures. Sometimes you need to use the internet because then you can zoom in, but the books are a good starting point for sure. Sometimes it's really hard to find pictures of dolls online anyways, like my Forever Diamonds and Babies Yasmin. We could barely find any photos of her online, but luckily I had one saved in my guide on the computer.
Yeah, this is Trendy Bendy Teresa's outfit.
Nice.
I knew Teresa wore pink. I was like, I know that's unusual, but I'm pretty sure Teresa's the one that wears pink. So we've made 2 dolls with outfits. So this book here, the Barbie doll photo album by J. Michael Gustiniak. It wasn't in print long, so that makes it kind of expensive. I think I paid like $40 or $50 for this, or rather my dad did back in 2011. But it's not a comprehensive guide. However, it is so useful. If you collect Fashion Fever dolls especially, they can be really hard to like figure out on eBay. So this gives you a starting point. So I use box date, he uses release date. He doesn't even tell you what the box date is. However, I looked at this doll and I'm like, she's definitely like mid-2000s, but she has a necklace, which is kind of uncharacteristic, and I thought maybe she's Fashion Fever, and sure enough, there she is, and there's her stock number. So it's really worth buying. I think he has all of the like old school Fashion Fever dolls in this book. Don't quote me on it, but I think they're all there. So I just set up a thumbnail for this video, and now we are going to decide who needs their photos taken and who does not, because I don't document every doll for before and after. Okay, obviously. Before photo. Before photo. Leg will be a before photo. Before photo. Before photo. These guys can sit in the bin when it's all said and done. As will she. As will she. These guys aren't really like, I have like a lot of flat liner type. She's pretty bad.
This one?
I think so.
Oh yeah, her face is filthy.
Aurora's really not like, because see how her back is pretty decent? I don't think these two are that bad. I definitely think Dominic. She's like...
She'd be good from like one of those front shots because her face is so grimy.
These two though, their hair's like pretty shiny from the back. So.
What do you think about her?
I mean, it's pretty dreaded. And then he's all set. So this is the bin we got them in, and there's some really disgusting clothes in here. And you can see that, like, Rock Angel's Chloe's extras were never even taken off the card.
Which is awesome, because ours was very incomplete.
There's some Mycene shoes, Bratz shoes, some really disgusting looking clothes, like this sweater needs a bath. So we have Fun in the Sun Disney Store Ariel from 2007. Yikes. 2004 Sparkle Princess Ariel by Mattel. Also yikes. 2002 Flutter Fantasy Cinderella. Her outfit is just bleh.
She's just plain sad.
Then we have 2008 Disney Store Pocahontas. And very similar but different looking 2000 Disney Store Pocahontas. You'll note that her eyes are wider. She has ballerina hands instead of like imitation 99 Barbie hands.
And her waist can like twist and turn. I'm gonna go put our burgers in the oven.
Yep, and then she also has a darker tattoo. Then we have Disney on Ice from 1998, Sleeping Beauty. She's really cool. Then we have 2010 Disney Store Fairies Vidya. Then we have 2004 Princess and the Pauper, Dominic and Annalise, they're African American dolls. He is disgusting. This camera's not even picking up on it, and his outfit is just in horrible shape. We do have another Dominic outfit, so I'll fix this one, but I'll wear the nicer one. And then this is Annalise. She's got a really dirty face, a really dirty outfit. Then we have 2005 Beach Fun Summer. And 2005 Beach Fun Barbie, who's showing her boobs to the whole world. And then we have 2004 Fashion Fever. I'll put her stock number in here. I think it's age 062, something like that. 2005 Rock Angel's Chloe. She is one of the most disgusting dolls I have ever beheld. She's even more disgusting than my two other Rock Angel's Chloe's, which is saying something because I got my first for 40 cents with True Marks at the flea market, and then my other one was from the Bratz Blitz lot, which you guys would have seen the transformation video of. 2005 Ooh La La Kumi, also filth on the face, yuckies, look at that stain on the leg. This is 2006 Forever Diamonds and Bratz Babies, Yasmin. Woo! That hair, and also this boobage isn't okay. And then we have 2010 10th anniversary Ashby. Her shirt, I don't know if you can really tell, but it's actually like brown. It's not supposed to be. Then we have...
And Ashby and these three dolls were not from the same lot.
They were purchased separately. That's why they have price tags on them. So then we have 2010 Schools Out Gulia. Her hair's pretty bad. 2012 Dance Class Operetta.
I want to say she's the nicest doll here, like right now.
Yeah, and then 2013
Where did her eye mask go? Okay, it's right here.
First edition Cerise Hood. Then we have 2006 I Heart My Friends, or I Love My Friends, Dolly. Don't have Chelsea from her pack, but this is her outfit. And then we have 2004 Shopping Spree Mycene Barbie. I have another one of her, but she is scary looking. Then we have a Horsey from the Princess and the Pauper Royal Kingdom Carriage. And that's everybody. So this is a list I wrote up of everybody with their body makes. I'm just using my old sketchbook from last year that my goals were in because I didn't have enough pages. I actually really like writing without lines because if I need to add things. So there's just like body mold info, country makes, that's all for Flickr, the box date, things like that. And I'm going to put them on the computer.
I'm doing one of my favorite things associated with the haul. I'm taking everyone's clothes off.
So Colleen is starting with all of the clothes that aren't on dolls in the bag and also the accessories, and then she's going to move on to undressing the dolls themselves. Usually for like the before photos, we'll keep them in the outfits they were wearing when we got them, but sometimes if we are having trouble looking at the body info, then we'll make them all naked. It just depends on the day.
So I'm soaking these tiny little blister pack accessories because the blister pack itself had turned kind of yellow and like looked gross, so yeah.
We got these metal bracelets that I'm going to repurpose for doll jewelry, but we're not soaking those in water because obviously we don't want them to rust, so Colleen set them aside, as you can see, right in front of the laundry bin.
I like to re-velcro before I put it in the wash just so they don't stick to each other. Oh, Ariel's leg has like this black crap on it.
While Colleen is taking off these dolls' clothes, she's also removing any price tags, hair elastics, you can see she's cutting them out here, and any factory elastics that were put on the dolls to hold jewelry on and stuff, so that way they're going to be extra clean.
Actually, this will be good to know later. So Aurora has these little white underwear on, and I'm filming this for our purposes, so we know later those were hers. Oh, Vita. Oh my lord, her legs are filthy.
Also making sure the clothes aren't balled up. You can see she's making sure these pants are right side out because they're not going to wash properly if they're all bunched up.
Ooh, yeah.
It's also important to remove any earrings or like Monster High limbs that pop in and out easily so they don't go down the sink drain when you're washing them.
So Dominic's outfit is gonna need to be like repaired later.
Yeah, I know.
I'm talking for the
Oh,
camera.
I'm sorry. I already pointed it out.
But we also have an extra one of these jackets. Oh, this is bad. Yeah.
I think we have a holster outfit.
I know we have an extra jacket and we have like the spare, the blue thing.
So, Colleen is hanging up some of the clothes. They've been soaking for about an hour. But these aren't the really raunchy pieces. What did you do with those?
I'm going to heat up some OxyClean to dissolve it thoroughly and then dump it in with cold water in the clothes and some laundry detergent to like get out some stains. Kumi's shirt has like this ugly brown splotch that might need spot treated later on it, along with like the Cinderella dress is just overall raunchy, and so is the Annalise dress. But like some of the other pieces, like Teresa's sweater and that overwrap for Noli, like they're very like discolored, as is Ashby's shirt. So.
And these were already washed with some OxyClean and regular laundry detergent. But obviously...
This is our old Bartok.
Yeah, he was on display. Obviously, with so many clothes, there are things that are going to need to be spot treated again. Even if there was less clothes, if they're really dirty, they're dirty.
Oh, these are dirty. They turn their water this great reddish brown color.
So I have these dolls soaking because they are pretty raunchy. I mean, they haven't been soaking long because honestly, the drain stoppers in our sink aren't the best. So they're all the water's gonna drain out on its own anyways. I'm gonna start with, you know, Cerise has the wrong hands.
What do you mean she's the wrong hands?
Do these look like they match to you? They're Ever After High, but do they look like they match to you?
No, they don't look like they match me. Did we order her color?
I think hers is the same as the Raven skin tone, maybe, or the
Raven's pale. I think the ones you have on there are Raven. I think she's like the holly color.
I think I
the
have
Ashland
that.
color. I think you do. We'll look. Oops.
It's alright. I mean, she has hands. Like,
Right, exactly.
I'm not upset. Even if I had to order more, it's like I'm not upset. So I'm going to start with the people who we did not get in the stinky lot, the separately purchased dolls, because they are not as gross.
When dealing with a large group of dolls, it's important to have a plan of action. So I'll start with the easiest dolls because then I'll get through them quicker and they can be dry by the time I'm finished some of the more difficult to do dolls. And that way it's less stressful and more gets done in one day.
So usually I wash their hair after their bodies, but since there's so many dolls, I figure this way when Colleen's done cleaning, she can come in and help me, and I'll already have their hair washed twice, so she can just start conditioning. And also, what happens when you soak them in water, whether it's warm or cold, is if you soak them for a long period of time, their original elastics are going to eventually, because they're old, they're gonna flake off. So if you want to keep the original elastics intact and you don't have to soak the doll, then don't, because it is going to cause the elastics to crumble off. But if your doll has a lot of little elastics and a really intricate hairstyle, but it all needs to be redone or washed or whatever, then letting them soak is a great way to encourage that to happen. It's going to save you time in the long run. And also, I checked Cinderella and Annalise for batteries. They did have batteries. They were dead, but they weren't leaking acid. I always recommend removing the batteries in your secondhand dolls, even if they still work, and just getting fresh ones because you don't know how long they've been in there. Chances are they're original ones. And when battery acid leaks, it's really bad and it can actually make the doll not work anymore.
So I know people are going to ask, because they always do, what happens if you soak a doll who's battery operated? What happens if you get her wet? Will she not work? I don't put batteries in my dolls and test their features after I wash them, but as a kid, I took my dolls in the swimming pool with me and to the beach. They were always in water. They got weekly baths. And my dolls always worked after. The important thing is that they dry out. So just make sure you keep the battery compartments open so that they can dry thoroughly. And, if you're really worried about it, then maybe not have them soak, but you can still wash them with water. It's not...
Oh, look, she doesn't. Just half her fingers are gone. Summers?
Oh.
So we did get all of these dolls washed in one day. There would obviously be some dolls who needed further treatment, like flat irons and such, but their bodies got scrubbed, their hair got washed, conditioned, etc. It happened to work out because there was the two of us. Sometimes it takes longer.
These look like Raven hands. I think she's got the same color skin as Ashlyn.
Dry those off, you can put them right in the case.
Yep.
They've already been washed.
Are these the right color for you? Yes, they look like they are.
So an annoying thing about Cerise dolls, she has her own skin tone, and these didn't match because I didn't order Cerise hands last time I bought parts. So frustrating.
Oh, Ollie, you're in frame, but I wasn't planning on filming you. So, I went on the Mattel Parts site to do some research. These don't match. These are a little too dark. So unfortunately, we don't have Cerise hands, which means we're gonna just order more parts while we can and stock up because we're kind of addicted. Dog gluttony.
Check out the brown color of this water. It's disgusting. So, this is Chloe. She has been soaking. She is the last doll I'm doing. But I thought I would give you guys a close-up.
I'm just gonna rinse operetta super quick. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying to like let this thing drain. I was wondering why it wasn't draining. I was like, why wasn't it draining? Okay. So, first we're gonna do dish soap. And look how much of that just came off with the toothbrush.
Oh, wow.
See, it really doesn't always take that much effort. It all can look really dirty, but not actually have that much set in stuff. Sometimes the grossest looking stuff is just like opposite dirt. Oh, now Chloe's gonna need a new body because all of her fingers are coming off, so I'm not gonna keep this one, even though it has her little gem, but she's missing too much of her fingers, and a lot of people are like, oh, why don't you just swap the arms? See, the thing is about swapping arms and legs is in order to remove them off most dolls, unless you're talking like vintage dolls or clone dolls, they have more complicated mechanisms, so you're actually breaking the way that they, the mechanism inside to swap them. And I don't want to break anything just for, to quote, save hand or something. It doesn't really make sense because you're damaging the structural integrity. And I tried it before with my H2O Design Barbie's legs because she has tattoos on her legs, and instead I ended up breaking the donor body, even though I soaked her in hot water, just because they don't always come off cleanly. So my best advice is, don't do that. It's not really worth it unless you have a lot of practice with it.
If you're wondering how I got Chloe's head off so quickly, there's a little hack with Bratz dolls. If you push their heads down onto their necks and you pull their head back up really quickly, usually it'll pop right off. I don't do this on bodies I'm going to save, but I'm going to throw this body out, so there was no need in heating up water and going through all of that when I was just going to chuck it out.
Yeah, this has really tangled hair. So what I like to do is I find it goes the easiest and the quickest if you keep the doll flat on the towel and you wrap your fingers around their ears and put one of your fingers here. Sorry, my hands are really wrinkly and they're purpley pink red because of my rain-ons. But then I start with the wide tooth comb. I love these kinds of combs because they don't break easily. I had one that I literally had for 15 years that finally broke because of the, I believe the dolls from the Ken suitcase bin maybe. But yeah, they're really durable. I got one of mine at the dollar store. You can get them at Walmart. And you just start at the end and work your way up. This conditioner is pretty thick, so I don't need loads of it. The cheaper the conditioner, the more you'll probably have to use, and the better you'll have to rinse because it can leave residue, but it's not like Salon brand is gonna make a difference. I mean, dolls don't have like hair, but you can use conditioner because it like lubricates it nicely. And then if I'm doing the back, I'll kind of hold her like this because that way no stress is getting put on the neck.
Body's like legit the same,
yeah.
Just no belly jewels, so I'm gonna toss this one out. Chloe, that's your new body.
Sweet, I'm gonna wash that for her after. I always like to clean the bodies. And they are gonna shed, some people like to use flea combs for pets. I just hate the way those feel. Like, there's something about the way they scratch the hair, 430, that, like, it's like nails on a chalkboard to me, like, ooh. And they are gonna, like, shed in that their dolls are rooted with the lock and loop method, so the hair will pull out because it's not really, like, knotted in place. The older dolls. The newer dolls have glue in their heads to hold it in. Also, very important to get up by the scalp. And a lot of people, I see them make this mistake a lot of the time. It's like a finishing touch. So let us look at Ariel. Ariel has earrings that aren't removable. Hair gets caught around the earrings. A lot of people will clean their dolls and do a nice job, but they will leave hair watered around the earrings. Not a cute look. It just makes them look dirty when they're not. Don't you think?
Definitely.
And make sure you get up by the scalp. That's another thing. Some people don't get right up to the scalp, and that will make the doll look dirtier. Like what's right close to the face, especially in the photos, you're gonna notice the most.
I'm a pretty aggressive hairbrusher when it comes to dolls, so don't mind that. I have really strong arms and I just brush rather aggressively, but my dolls turn out fine anyways, and because of the way I hold them, they don't shed as much as you would think. I also am leaving some of the Bratz dolls with conditioner in their hair while I comb out more dolls just to help.
For all the dolls that are clean and done, I'm gonna sit over here. So we're gonna put Operetta. Cindy, put her whole head in there. They're gonna look kind of weird, it's like an art form. I'm gonna do you after. And then Cerise. Now, if they were all really tangly, I'd only put 2 in the bowl because of the size of it. I prefer this bowl compared to my other one that I use for boil washing because it just heats up better. But you don't want to put too many dolls in the bowl or they'll suck heat from each other. And so if you have a doll like my Yasmin that I was combing out earlier, she's probably going to have her own bowl. Or like just with someone who's got really short hair. I usually do it by hair type. So I will put the saran haired people in together because they soak the longest. Now the exception to that might be if I just need to like dunk a Kanekalon haired doll really quickly, I'll do them first as long as the water isn't bubbling. So that way I can comb them out and set them aside and then the saran people can soak. So that's just what I like to do because saran and nylon hair soak for a long time. Kanekalon you don't really want to let soak for a long time because it can ball up. So we just placed an order for Ever After High Hands and we spent another $25 because apparently they're very subtly different. So we got Cupid, Lizzie, and Michelle hands.
And who?
Michelle Mermaid or whatever. Michelle Lammer. She's the mermaid.
Oh, because she shares the Cupid.
Yeah, and you see Cupids and Lizzie dolls. They made several. Cedar, again, I've gotten some secondhand. Cerise Hood, we got 2 because obviously my doll's going to use one. And then we didn't get Ashlyn hands last time because I already had one in storage. So the reason why I bought 4 sets, or rather 5 sets, is because it just makes more sense with shipping, as I explained last time, because the shipping's $5 and like $0 to $30 is $5 shipping, so to buy one pair of hands would literally be $10, which is kind of silly. So
you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking they make all these subtle skin tone variations to jip people like us at the parts store. And it's working! We're suckered in.
And on my computer, I keep track of dolls who need bodies, what body they're on at the time, and then what body they will eventually need. So, Rock Angel's Chloe, she is on a body without a belly ring, and, you know, in an ideal world, we'd like to get her on a belly ring, because her hand was literally, like, cut. So I've added her here. Everything else is organized, so these are miscellaneous. We have Stacy and Skipper, Ken, articulated and specialized Barbie bodies, and then standard Barbie bodies. So this is the day after we got the haul. I have some things that need to be photographed, some things in here that need to be photographed, but there's clothing pieces that are still drying or need to be washed again. I have some mending, some stuff I want to research. This is all stuff that's either been photographed, as you can see this outfit was photographed and identified, or things that I already have duplicates of that I'm just going to put away. And then a few of the dolls are dressed. Summer over here needs her hair redone because apparently it's Connect Lawn, and I wasn't the one that washed her. I just stuck her in the boil wash, so I didn't realize that. So she needs more work done, but it's going to take a while because Cerise's hands haven't shipped yet. I also have a list of things that I need to get from downstairs so I can photograph some of the things on the desk and, you know, things I'll need later for when dolls are dressed. And fun fact, I already had Ooh La La Kumi's purse. I did not get it with my doll. I must have gotten this later, but it's not a very, like, nice quality Bratz purse in terms of, like, the construction. The fabric's nice, but the handles seem kind of flimsy, which is why I wasn't sure if it was Bratz, so I was looking up pictures of Kumi today to see what I had that went to her, and I was like, I think I have that purse in my unidentified thing, so cool, I have it.
So in this clip, I am flat ironing my Princess and the Pauper Horse. I would have filmed me flat ironing some of the more severe looking dolls, but my camera was flashing low battery, so I filmed what I could. This horse wasn't too bad. He didn't need a major flat iron, and I didn't even need to trim him after. But even so, I usually like to go over nylon hair with the flat iron just to keep it nice. I find that flat ironing it prevents it from getting frizzy again as long as you take your time, do thin sections. And you can see I'm actually like feeling the section as I like finish with the flat iron, which I don't recommend doing, but I have a high tolerance to heat, but I like to keep track of how hot the flat iron's getting just to prevent melting. I flat iron hundreds of dolls and I very rarely have a problem with anything even sort of burning. And this is me trimming some of the hair. As I mentioned, after a flat iron, I almost always trim the hair because no matter how well you flat iron, no matter how thin the sections you do and how long you take, the ends are always going to be a bit bulky, and you'll notice after you flat iron, the comb will go in really smooth from the root all the way up until maybe about ½ an inch from the bottom. So Ariel needed quite a bit cut off. You can see there's a lot of hair. Most of the other dolls didn't get nearly that much, but this is what gives them a polished finish, and because they have all of the kinks flat ironed out of their hair, it looks longer anyway, so you can't even see that there's a difference. I'm also cutting quite a bit off of Ashby, and this just made the world of difference. I was able to comb from root to tip and make it completely smooth, and I don't usually have to retouch up flat irons. Once I do it right the first time, once I trim it, it's all set for a long time. Sorry for the loads of voiceover, but I was doing a lot of different things over the span of several days, and I was more focused on getting stuff done rather than talking to the camera and trying to explain what I was doing. So in this clip, I am repairing Annalise and Dominic's outfits. You can see I have a candle here, and that's because I use the heat from it to melt the frayed bits of the fabric. And something else I also do, I have a tutorial on that if you're wondering, but something else I do is I actually will do the entire hemline of any of the raw edges to prevent them from fraying, even if they're fine. It takes longer this way, like this was a very tedious process, but I feel it's worth it because it keeps the outfit nicer. It prevents it from falling apart later. And this isn't the outfit Dominic actually ended up wearing. He wore one of the ones we had in storage, but just, for the next doll to use, I like to repair things right away so they're all ready to go. You do have to be careful, and you can buy fray check and things like that. It's like kind of a glue that you put on instead. I've never tried that. I just have these tea lights, and I don't mind melting them. You do have to be careful, though. You don't want to get too close to the flame or it can catch fire and things, but this has worked out really well for me. I'll go over clothes that I know have a history of fraying, like certain dollar store fashions and things, so it's worth the effort. And I also will sew up after I fix the frays, because you don't want to try to sew this kind of fabric if it's starting to unravel, because you'll make a mess of it. I learned that the hard way. And a note on the last clip, you can't melt every kind of fabric. It has to be some kind of cheap satin. Don't try to do this with cotton and things or it'll just burn, it won't melt. In this clip here, I got some jewelry in the bin that I showed at some point, and I'm taking it apart so I can use these beads for jewelry later. I get a lot of my jewelry supplies in just random bins from the flea market. Repurposing is a really smart way to make cool jewelry for your doll. You can tell I did a lot of stuff in one day. Here I am making the earrings for the dolls. Obviously, I model the earrings off the outfits they're going to wear, so you'll see at some point I'll come in with Ashby's shirt, and I'll be comparing that to different colors of beads. And it's just a lot of fun. This is one of my personal favorite creative outlets. I mean, I do have lots of Bratz earrings in storage, but at some point I didn't, and that's where the idea struck. And I've been collecting different jewelry supplies for a long time. Most are from Walmart or just repurposed.
We have 2 bonus items for this Dolly Transformations video. Colleen had to work again this weekend, and she talked me into going to the Salvation Army. In our defense, we did cash $3.15 in cans. So, not like cans we bought either. Cans.
No, like cans that I brought home from work.
Because we don't buy soda or anything really for the house, or bottled water. So this is Horseback Fun Jubilee, again, from the Salvation Army. And then this is Ideal Toys Ted. He's Ideal Toys Tammy's brother. So I've seen Tammy dolls before, and I've actually encountered sometimes a piece of their clothing in bins, and I'm not a huge fan of the babyish bigger look, but I spotted him today on top of some other dolls. He's really dirty, and both Colleen and I were kind of intrigued. So
because he's this big-faced man doll, it kind of reminds me of a Mycene dude.
And I just want to say,
old.
I don't know how I knew this, but I walked over, I saw his face, and I was like, I think that's Tammy's boyfriend or something. I pick him up, I look at the back, I see Ideal Toys. Somehow I remembered that I think Tammy's Ideal Toys. I don't even know, I've never been particularly interested in these dolls, but just from floating around doing a lot of research, I guess, I remembered something.
These are really nice pants. These are Ken pants. Country Flair, I think. Country Fair.
And then this is a G.I. Joe top. It's got the tag. I actually thought it might be Ken because it was so nice. But it was originally
My Ken dolls are going to wear it, so.
So yeah, we're keeping it. It's a 1964 Action Sailor G.I. Joe top. And some have 2 pockets, some have 1 pocket, and some have no pockets. And yeah, so that is that.
He needs a lot of work.
We're going to clean him after lunch. So unexpectedly, our parts came. So we ordered these on Sunday, April 7th? I don't know.
Yeah, yes.
And today is now Saturday, April 12th? 13th. So it was shy of a business day of being a week, because if it had been an exact week like last time. So yeah, I opened up over here. So it came in a box. All the other times it's come in an envelope. And then, look how big some of these bags are. So if you're wondering, and they don't have them labeled or anything. So you can see here, that these are all the different parts. These must be the cedar hands. Oh my god. So I just have this little notebook here that doesn't have lines, that I wrote the Spare Ever After High parts I have, and who uses the same skin tone of the parts I have. With Monster High I don't really need to do that because it's very easy to tell them apart, but because I've ordered so many recently, I just wrote them down, and then if I use them I'll just fill in the the box, so we'll know without, like, if we're confused about, you know, if we get it all and we're not sure if it matches, it'll be easier to do process of elimination. And these are just a list of American Girl clothes that I don't have.
I decided to make my Aurora doll headband because most of my Sleeping Beauty dolls have handmade hair pieces. Hers is not on a wire base like my tutorial shows because she has a tiny head, so I went with a ribbon and I sewed on different ornaments instead of gluing them so they're sturdier.
Hashtag cat owner problems. Pooh Bear! Pooh Bear! Is this your way of getting attention? You already ate dinner!
He thinks that the Annalise dolls are a bed.
Gorshy. No. Everyone loves you, but this is not how I want you to make your camera time. No.
Can you find a way to be cute somewhere else? Preferably not on Annalise.
So we are at the end of the video. We have all the dolls around. This took a while because of Cerise's issue with not having hands. So that's why this was delayed. So we have my Princess and the Pauper Horse. He flat ironed really well, really easy, is really nice and much better than my ones with cut hair. And then we have my kid's horse that was the bonus in the video, who's really hard to hold, and realized that it can't stand because of the way it's molded. So if I had noticed that, I might not have bought him, just because, like, how can I take photos with this guy? I had to use a spool of thread to get him to stand for my Flickr guy. But that's okay. You're really cute, Brats.
She is
really nice. Cute. This is Fun in the Sun Ariel. Her little flower fell out during the grooming process, so I just glued it on one of my little clips. Her outfit was in really nice shape, and the hair, holy crap. It's so much nicer. Like, even her bangs. This took some serious trimming. Then we have Sparkle Princess Ariel. Her torso is still yellow. It doesn't really seem to be showing up in this lighting, but I don't know if it's staining or if it's from some kind of like random discoloration, but it hasn't been sunny out, so the dolls with stains still have stains. I didn't want you guys to wait for an eternity for this video. It's been like raining or on-off sun, so, and I've tried doing stain removal treatments inside, and the heat, it just isn't enough. I need the sunlight, so that's her hair. She doesn't have much tinsel left. Then we have Cindy. My old Cindy is on the shelf. Sorry, I didn't bring her out. There's plenty of dolls to see. Her dress was filthy. It's a lot nicer, and her bun is...
Yeah, the coloring's better.
Is really nice. This is obviously the redone bun. I have a tutorial on how to do this bun. Then we have my two Pocahontases, 08 and 2000. Let me see if I can get a good angle here of their hair. Smooth as butter. They really weren't bad. I didn't even really have to trim them. I just skimmed the ends.
And the 08 girl was easy to comb out.
Yep. Yeah, she had really nice hair. And then we have my Disney on Ice Aurora. I made her this headband. You could see I was sewing it together. And then her hair is really nice. It's not wavy anymore. I was originally going to put waves back in it, but I liked it so much straight. And then we have Vidya. Her hair is really nice. Her hair wasn't too bad, honestly. Dominic was filthy before. I love him. He's only our second African-American Ken. Like, we have African-American Alan and Lex Stevens, but he's our second African-American Ken.
So excited.
And then Annalise, she also has kind of a shabby dress, but her hair is way nicer. And then Summer, oh my good lord. I had to boil wash a stove. Not 2 times, not 3 times, but 4 times. She had the worst Kanekalon hair I had seen in a while. It was just so poofy. And then Barbie also got 2 rounds of boil washing. And then we'll do Teresa's hair while we're back here. She had pretty bad hair, but it obeyed in the boil wash. And we do have her sweater, but Colleen thought she'd look really cute in this Fashion Fever, like, separate ensemble. And it matches her pearl necklace really well. We got this on a Skipper doll.
Yeah, we got that whole outfit she's wearing on a Skipper doll.
Then we have I Love My Friends Dolly. Okay, so some of these outfits with the white were really, really dirty. Like, her bottoms were like brown, and we tried to soak them in OxyClean a few times. It helped a little, but the only way I could do it was to like dilute some bleach and put them in bleach, but it soaked up like a sponge, and a little bit of her jeans got discolored, but it's okay because her shirt covers it. But that's her hair, and that shopping spree Barbie's hair. I put it in a ponytail because it had a weird bump in it. And so this is her extra outfit. I think she's really cool, and I actually already had some of her jewelry. Don't even remember where that came from. I think it was the Brat Splits. This is Ooh La La Paris Kumi. So obviously she still has the stain on her leg. You'll see me get rid of it in a Dolly Diaries episode. And I don't have her shoes, so she's wearing some random shoes, and that's her hair. And then that's Rock Angel's Chloe's hair. And all of the Bratz dolls got 2 boil washes because by the time I went to do them, the water just wasn't heating up enough in the microwave. So
Her face was so bad.
Oh, I know. Like, take this in. I forgot. Like, she's looked this nice for like a week now, so... Because we cleaned them all.
The day of.
The day of. It was just like the flat irons and like earrings and then second rounds of boil washing. But yeah. Then we have Yazzie Poo. Oh, and I'll insert pictures of the handmade earrings as I do. But that's her hair. Buttery soft. And I had a spare Vanessa shirt that she's wearing. But I got her shoes with her. And then Ashby, I love her. Her shirt was another one that needed like a few little drops of bleach. And if you're wondering if there's like a stain, I'll take a Q-tip, dip it in some bleach, and then just pat it on the stain lightly. And you want to make sure the fabric is wet for this, dry for this, because if it's wet, it'll kind of like soak into things around it. And I didn't want this to get discolored. I learned that the hard way on some Cool Times Barbie things. And then that's her hair. It looks so much better. There'll be pictures too on my Flickr of some of these dolls. And then Ghoulia doesn't really look that much different, just a little more kempt. We don't have her shoes, but we love her. And then Operetta, she's supposed to have an eye mask that goes in this ear hole, but I usually make them one earring because I don't really like the eye masks. I think they detract from her beauty, so I just put those away. And that's her hair. She cleaned up super nice. And then, you know, Cerise. Her hair looks just pretty much as nice as it did before. But hens! Right, Cerise? Hens!
Lovely.
And then we have Ted. I spent like 15 minutes scrubbing him clean. No lie. Just scrubbing him over and over with baking soda, but he's all squeaky clean. And we decided to call him Dalbert Stack because he reminds us of Robert Stack in this outfit.
So what I did was, I was looking for separates because we wanted him to wear this rally day coat. And I didn't want a super nice shirt underneath it. So I took this ancient shirt because you're not even going to see it anyway. This was mine growing up, and as you can see, the decal fell off.
And this rally day coat was one of the first things I bought as an adult collector for Barbie. I got it at an antique store for my vintage Kens. It was a few dollars. I think it was like $4 or something kind of ridiculous for just the coat, but it's in really nice shape. And then these are the dolls that benefited from this lot that I already had. So this is my shopping spree Barbie I got in 2011 from the Bratz Guy bin. She was one of the reasons I got into collecting my scene dolls again, and she's wearing the main outfit. And those are her shoes. I only got one with my new doll. So yeah, and then she's got handmade earrings that I made a long time ago. Ted. And then this is my trendy bendy Teresa. I actually got her at the Salvation Army that Ted came from back in 2012 or 2013.
Oh, it was a long time ago, yeah.
She was one of the few dolls we used to find back then, and you can see she's got kind of like messed up face paint and like, that's her twisty hair.
Did we get her from the $4 guy?
No, I got her from the Memorial Day yard sale bin in 2014.
Right.
And yes, this is Yaz's outfit. And you can see that those are earrings I made to go with a fashion pack. And then if you're wondering where that fashion pack went that she's wearing, this is Caress, my childhood style at Yaz. I traded outfits with her because she has these really cornrows are kind of her signature look, because back when I didn't know how to take care of Nylon, this is what I did. So I know, like, totally random, but I don't think she had cornrows in for my collection video, but I put them in after re-flat ironing her. I just love how they look with this outfit.
And then your old Chloe got that jacket.
Oh yeah, old Chloe's wearing a jacket. Yep, Jade, whoa, what happened? Okay. So, thank you guys all so much for watching. These dolls will be on my Flickr at some point. I've taken their pictures at this point, but I haven't edited them yet, so it's going to be kind of a process. But if you want to see more close-ups of them and information about what they came with, etc., what we're missing, feel free to check out my Flickr. I'll link it below as usual. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry for the wait. And until next time, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.